Did you ever wonder what will happen to the tech industry in the next 5, 10 years? Which job profiles will bloom and which ones will completely disappear? A study done at Oxford University found out that 45% of all current jobs will disappear in the next 10 years, with some of them completely automated or at least upgraded to the point where a fraction of the workforce is only needed. So this will greatly impact the way you plan for your future. Let's go through some of these jobs that will radically change in the upcoming decade in the years that follow. Number 1. Drivers. Let me put it this way. If your job consists of driving any type of machinery, automobile, or vehicle, you're going to be out of a job in the near future. Bus drivers, truck drivers, Uber drivers, and even delivery services are all on the verge of complete automation. These are the people who are going to be pushed out first because a self-driving truck does not need to stop for rest, is attentive to the road 24/7, and the technology for it already exists. The next generation of Tesla cars will be 100% autonomous. Elon Musk himself agrees that it will take us 1 or 2 more years to get the tech to work perfectly, and then 3 additional years to get the government to approve it. All major car manufacturers are headed towards electric and self-driving cars, and those who won't will be left behind. Number 2. Farmers. Farming was huge when it came to employment numbers back in the day. You might see farming as human labor intensive in the underdeveloped parts of the world. But on a macro level, this has already been automated with the very few specially trained individuals that operate heavy machinery from the comforts of the office via wireless connections. Back in the day, you needed to physically measure your plot of land, needed human labor to weed it out, and another set of people to harvest and transport the end product. Now we measure things with drones or satellite imagery, the soil is already treated against weeds, or the seeds are already weed resistant. If this sounds ridiculous to you, that only a few people will be in charge of our food, you are already too late to the table. Number 3. Printers and publishers. The newspaper is dead. Traditional media is suffering as the internet is eating up everything. You no longer need to get your news from the papers. You get them via Twitter or live streams as they're happening. All traditional magazines are fighting for their lives, not to survive versus one another, but to survive as one as a whole. Information is free, and there are very few publishers where the trust in the brand is enough to keep the motors going. A great example is the New York Times, one of the only publications who have successfully implemented a paywall for readers to consume their written content. Unless you are in your 50s or more, you're unlikely to get your news from TV networks. Number 4. Cashiers. America alone has 8 million people working as cashiers and in-store salespeople. These people are going to be out of work sooner than they think. If you have been following what the biggest commerce giants are doing, it's easy to connect the dots. Amazon is pilot testing with what they call Amazon Go, a corner store with 0 humans involved, where you just walk in, get what you need, and walk out, with everything you bought being automatically deducted from your credit card. Sensors are on the rise, and the tech needs to be a little bit better than the human counterpart for the switch to be made. Also, the cashiers can go 24/7 without bringing the drama of their personal life into the workspace. Number 5. Travel agents. When was the last time you went to a travel agency to book a flight? The Skyscanner took over the flight ticket industry, Booking.com over the hotel booking industry, and Airbnb is disrupting the hotel business as a whole. There is no need for a third person to book a flight or a hotel room for us. We can do it ourselves. Who is better yet, you can tell Siri to book it for you. Number 6. Manufacturing workers. When the industry revolution hit, all the people working in the fields moved to work in the factories. With the process and the advancement in technology, these same people were out in charge of building machines that would eliminate the need for humans. A fun thing to do is to compare the way cars were built less than 100 years ago and how they're built today. Number 7. Waiting tables and bartending. Okay, not all of them will be gone, but the bulk surely has one foot out of the door already. Of course, there is a need for social interaction, but that's not always the case. Sometimes you just want to sit down, have the food arrive at your table as soon as possible, enjoy a particular mix of alcoholic beverages, and then leave. All of which can be successfully replaced by a carefully documented software and an iPad. More and more restaurants are jumping in on this trend all around the world. Technology has always evolved and eliminated jobs in the process, but it also creates jobs in other places. So everyone needs to constantly update their skill in the fast moving world.